Hi, my name is Austin. I'm here with the Manic Mall Ninja review. I've had a few requests to review the rifle from my last video. This is the next generation MP168 SPC. It was manufactured from summer of 2009 until fall 2010. I was lucky enough to pick one of these up during production. So I'm going to go ahead and review the rifle, the features, and what I've done to it. Okay, so this is my next generation a.r.m.s. MP168 SPC. This rifle is chambered in the NATO 5.56. It comes from the shop, fully Cerakoted. I went ahead and had my EOTech hood Cerakoted to match in the Patriot Brown. The Cerakote just gives a nice protective layer over your nice soft buttery aluminum, and it's also a kind of a cool way to accessorize your gun, give it your own personal color. This rifle comes with a Noveske 14.5 inch Afghan profile barrel with a permanently affixed muzzle brake that is the FS 556 muzzle brake device. It's actually very helpful in management of recoil. It really knocks down the kick of this rifle, which is already low to begin with, but it just really helps. This is a mid-length rifle system. It has a permanently affixed gas system that is also the flip-up front sight from a.r.m.s. It's the number 41B if you go to order that. It's easy to manipulate to close it back down. Just push it, close it, flip it up when you need it. It's pretty slick and handy. I don't use it because I'm running an optics setup, but if my optics failed for some reason and I had to pull it off, I absolutely could go back to this. The front rail system is the a.r.m.s. s.i.r system. This is the 58. It's the military version on the mid-length. It's an aluminum upper that's got a full-length rail that goes over the top of the rifle's upper and mounts on for additional stability. It comes with a couple of different rails, 3 rails, one I've utilized here, a long rail and another short rail. My one complaint with this rail system is the mounting options for a front end sling. It's kind of a pain in the ass to have to twist this around all the time if you're taking your sling on and off like I am all the time. How I solved that problem was I went with the Gear Sector quick detach push button sling. It's been real handy. I've used it a couple times now. I'm very impressed with it. I've got another review. If you're interested, you can go ahead and check it out. Moving back to the other end of the rifle, the pistol grip is a Command Arms accessory pistol grip. It's got 6 optional plates to replace the rear and front plates. You can set it to fit your hand. You can go with finger notches or not. I prefer the finger notches, so every time I reach down and grab my rifle, my hand's in the same place on the weapon every time. And it also has the Command Arms buttstock collapsible 6 position. This is the one part of the weapon I'm not happy with. I've got a lot of wobble. You can't charge the weapon with the cheek riser in the back. You don't get enough on the charging handle to fully charge your weapon. It's got some battery compartments here, some sling attachments points. This is something that's probably going to be coming off. I haven't decided what I'm going to go with yet, but there will be a new buttstock on this next time you see this rifle. One of the other things I added, the Magpul bad lever doesn't come standard. I use it because it gives me one-handed manipulation of the charging handle. If I need to lock that back, it's pretty easy to do. I can drop it forward. One-handed, my hand never has to leave the trigger. It's something I've really come to use a lot. I know a lot of guys are opposed to it because it's going to affect your ping pong paddle or your charging release. I'm fine with it. I enjoy it. I think it works well for me and my style of shooting. The other external feature is this Badger tactical latch. A lot of real estate here. You can get your hand on it. You can use your offhand. You can reach up, just one finger it. You can grab it. It works really well. A lot of real estate there. That's pretty much the exterior of the rifle and how it comes. Now we're going to go ahead and break it down and show you what's on the inside. Alright, now I'm moving to the internals of the rifle. Before I get there, I want to talk about one thing I missed. and that's the a.r.m.s. rear sight. This is the 40L flip up. It's a good fit to the rifle. It fits flush with the rail system. It's a quick flip up. It works really nice. Now that I got that handled, we're going to go back to the interiors. One thing that Next Generation does is they not only do they Cerakote the externals of the rifle in every piece, is they put microslick on the internals and all the moving parts, which is a real nice feature. Microslick is a product that runs low friction, high heat dissipation. You can dump 120 rounds through this weapon, drop this bolt out, pick it up, and it's going to be pretty much just warm to the touch. It's not going to burn you like any other AR would. You never do that with any other AR. But this microslick is just a product that allows you to do that. I don't know how it works, but I just know it does. They microslick everything, even the buffer spring. It doesn't flake off, it bends, it's flexible. Low friction, low drag, so you don't need to use a lot of oil. Even the barrel is done in the microslick, which is a nice feature when you go to clean up at the end of the day. Maybe you dump 600 rounds through it. You're going to run a clean patch through. You might be able to get 2 or 3 patches, and this is going to come through clear without any carbon buildup, without having to use any solvents, which is really nice. The bolt carrier group is Next Generation's own build. They use their own in-house design on these, which is nice. It's a great bolt carrier. Haven't had any problems. I really enjoy it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and talk to the lower of this Next Generation weapon. They go with the Endyne hydraulic buffer. This buffer is another way that they help manage recoil. It slows the cycle rate of your firearm by about 20%, but that gives you time to help manage your recoil. And when the buffer strikes the end of your receiver extension, it also dampens a little bit of that shock, which is another way in which you can help manage recoil. The trigger that came originally with this weapon was the Jarred LE 3.5 pound single stage trigger. It wasn't really working for me. It was just a little bit too touchy. I prefer a 2-stage trigger, so I went with the Geisel SSA. It's a 2-stage trigger. It's got a 2-pound preload and a 2-pound break. It works really well. I can get 2 rounds down target really quickly, or I can sit down and manage my breathing and take that time on the preload and get that second trigger out of it. One feature you're going to notice not a lot of ARs have is the K&S trigger pins. These are an anti-rotational, anti-creep trigger pin. It basically puts this bar in between your trigger pins, so it's always maintaining that same distance. You're not going to get any wobble in your receiver. Sometimes as you get a lot of wear, you're going to get a little wobble in the receiver, and you're going to have to replace your trigger pins with a larger size trigger pin and a new trigger system. I'm also running the Magpul Bad battery assist device. I like it. It works for me. And that's pretty much the entire rifle in a nutshell. One of the more recognizable add-ons is the Magpul MOE vertical grip. I don't actually use it as a grip. I prefer a more thumbs up, hand forward. But I do use it as a support device. If I got to get up on top of an awkward height barricade, I can use that as a positional rest. Or if I'm going into a nice stable barricade and I'm going for a longer shot, I can drop back and slam that forward. Give myself a little bit of tension for a more stable shot. A lot of guys like to use their magwell. I don't like to use a magwell because it puts me a little bit too far back on the weapon and I lose a little bit of that balance that I'm looking for. Real quickly, I'm going to talk to the optics that I'm running on my rifle. I plan on doing a full review later on, so watch for that. Right now I'm running a holographic weapon sight, the EOTech 557. Behind that I have the Aimpoint 3x magnifier situated on top of a LaRue pivot mount. The LaRue pivot mount is an amazing piece of equipment that allows you to go from a mid-range weapon to a close combat weapon just by pulling back and sliding the magnifier over. A lot of the stages that I'm acquiring today are going from, you know, a real close combat situation, 5 to 6 feet out to 400 yards. And this magnifier allows me to do that without having to really look at what I'm doing. I can just do this kind of in the blind, and it really helps me out a lot. One of the things I put on my rifle is a 3-point sling. This is a Spectre universal SOP 3-point sling. I picked it up at a gg&g. It's got a few easy features that really help me out. First thing it has is a quick release here. If I need to go to a support side stance, I can move my weapon around a barricade and get it on the left side. I'm a right-hand shooter, so if I need to go left for anything, I just release this lever and it gives me the slack that I need. Also, if at the end of a match I end up on top of a roof or inside of a car or any kind of weird position where it's difficult for me to clear my weapon in a safe manner, I can disconnect the sling and pass my rifle off to a range officer and allow them to clear it so everybody can stay safe. I hope you enjoyed my review of Next Generation's MP168 SPC. If you liked my review, go ahead and subscribe. Hit like at the bottom of the window. If you want to see me review anything else, have any questions about what you've seen here today, go ahead and shoot me an email, manic.mall.ninja@gmail.com. And as always, have fun shooting.